Welcome to our Financial Empowerment Series. This segment will discuss financial scams. What is a scam? Common types of scams, signs of scams, how to report financial scams, and what to do if you are a victim of a scam. What is a financial scam? A financial scam is when someone, under false pretenses, gets financial and personal information from you to steal money from you. Scammers will conceal their identity by betraying trusted institutions such as the IRS, banks, utility companies, insurance companies, etc. Or even individuals that you may have a personal relationships with, family members, romantic partners, and etc. I am sure everyone is familiar with financial scams. You may have even encountered a scammer yourself. Let's examine some common types of financial scams that you may encounter. Scammers take advantage of events such as COVID-19. You have likely heard of various COVID-19 or IRS scams. It is important to be aware of the financial scams going on so you can protect yourself. Sometimes scammers target certain subsets of our population, such as the elderly, by fraudulently representing to be with the Social Security Administration, in hopes of eliciting personal information.
I got a phone call. Someone identified himself as a representative of the Social Security office, and that a warrant, a no bail warrant, had been issued for my arrest. I'm 83 years old, and it scared me to death.
The Social Security imposter scam is very widespread right now. What these scammers are trying to do is they're trying to induce a state of fear. They're trying to make you feel very, very panicked.
They actually said federal authorities, including an armed marshal, would appear at my door within the next 24 hours. That had me sort of feeling jittery.
Sometimes they'll ratchet up that anxiety by telling you that there are marshals or police officers or sheriff's deputies that are about to arrest you. That's very, very scary for people. So what they're doing is they're playing on your fear, on your anxiety, and on you wanting to do the right thing. That's how they're going to next try to control the next actions that you take.
And they told me to get in my car, drive to the store, and get a Google Play card and put the $500 on it and give them the number.
Once they've got those PIN numbers, they've got your money. So how do you take control back? Well, the first thing you want to do is just stop and take a breath. Take a moment and say, okay, thanks for the call. I need to investigate what's going on here. Hang up the phone. Go talk with somebody that you trust. Do a search on the internet.
When it happens, let other people know, because the more that it's talked about, the better armed people are to behave assertively when somebody's behaving aggressively toward them.
Since then, I have told everyone that I know and a whole lot of people that I don't know.
This scam is hitting all parts of the United States, and it is hitting people at every age level, every education level, every income level. If this isn't happening to you, this is happening to your neighbors. This is happening in your community. So, if it does happen to you, please talk about it. We know that when people are familiar with scams, they are much less likely to lose money. Report it to the FTC at ftc.gov/complaint.
Now that we have an idea of some of the common types of scams you may encounter, let's discuss how to identify when a scammer contacts you.
Hi, I'm Bikram Bandy, an attorney at the Federal Trade Commission.
What is a robocall?
If you answer the phone and hear a recorded message instead of a live person, it's a robocall. If the message is a sales call pitching a product or service and you haven't given the company permission to call you, it's an illegal robocall. Many illegal robocalls are scams.
I recognize the number in the caller ID, but it was someone else calling. How is that possible?
Scammers use fake caller ID information to make it look like they're calling from a different place or phone number. That's called caller ID spoofing. They do it to avoid call blocking. They're also trying to trick you into answering. How? by making the call look like it's coming from a number you recognize, maybe your credit card company or your bank. Scammers have made it look like the IRS was calling, or even the local police department. Sometimes they'll make it look like you're getting a call from your own phone number. They're hoping you'll be curious enough to answer.
What's the Federal Trade Commission doing about it?
We know scammers spoof caller ID to hide from the law, and we're fighting back. We've sued hundreds of companies for making billions of illegal robocalls. We're working with the public to develop technology to block robocalls and help law enforcement authorities track down the people making illegal robocalls. And we're encouraging the industry to develop ways to prevent caller ID spoofing.
What should I do if I answer the phone and it's a recorded message or robocall?
If you get an illegal robocall, don't respond in any way. Don't press buttons to speak to someone or to be taken off the call list. You'll just end up getting more unwanted calls. Consider blocking the number. If you're getting calls from the same number, call your service provider to see if they can block that number. If you're getting calls from different numbers, ask your service provider if they have a call blocking service. You can also buy a call blocking device. Hang up on illegal robocalls, then report them to the Federal Trade Commission. Go to complaints.donotcall.gov or call 1-888-382-1222.
Sometimes it's hard to tell if a call is from someone you know or if it's just another scam. That's because scammers can use technology to fake the name or number on your caller ID. Even when your caller ID shows a local number, it could be a scammer calling from anywhere in the world. The good news? You can block a lot of these calls with mobile apps, internet services, or call blocking devices. Read expert reviews or talk to your carrier to get recommendations for your mobile phone or home phone. And always report unwanted calls to the FTC. Tell us the number on your caller ID and any number you're told to call back. The FTC releases these numbers each day to help companies working to block unwanted calls. Your complaints also help the FTC and other law enforcement go after the scammers behind these calls. Learn more about how to block unwanted calls and how to report them at ftc.gov/calls.
In addition to reporting to the Federal Trade Commission, you can request to be put on the Do Not Call list by contacting the Tennessee Public Utility Commission at 1-877-872-7030 or by going online and registering. You can also file a complaint with the Commission online. What if you don't recognize the warning signs and you provide your personal information to the scammer? What can you do now? I answered the call and provided information to the caller, then became suspicious. What do I do?
In that case, what you would need to do is you want to get a copy of your credit report. And you can do so by going to www.annualcreditreport.com. You are allowed to get one free credit report each year, so be sure to utilize that service. Also, you need to put fraud alerts on all of the credit reporters, and that would be Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. And you can do that by going to each of those credit reporting websites.
I did not realize it was a scam, but noticed my bank account had transactions that were unfamiliar. What should I do?
You need to contact the bank. You need to get a copy of your most recent bank statement. Identify all of the unauthorized transactions, and you need to dispute those transactions with the bank directly. You may also want to consider closing that account and obtaining a new account with a new PIN.
I willingly gave my money to a scammer before I knew it was a scam. What can I do to get my money back?
Well, that depends on the basis of the scam. If the scammer led you to believe that they were someone and that they really weren't, then it's going to be difficult for you to get your money back because it's going to be hard for you to identify exactly who it was that scammed you. However, if the scammer presented themselves as who they actually were, but they just did not give you the product or the service that you purchased, then in that case, you can go to General Sessions Court and sue for your money back.
Learn the warning signs so you can protect yourself and others from financial scams and take action. Unfortunately, financial scammers are busier than ever and are finding new ways to take advantage of people during the COVID-19 pandemic. Although they can target anyone, elders and other more isolated populations are particularly vulnerable. But there is something you can do. If you find yourself a victim of a financial scam or you know of someone else who may need your help, you can contact the Federal Trade Commission or Social Security Administration. There is also a recently established National Elder Fraud Hotline, which is staffed by experienced case managers who can provide personalized support to callers. The hotline serves to assist elders and caretakers who believe they are a victim of fraud. Of course, you can always contact your local legal aid office for more information and potential legal assistance.